chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls out there, there's a psychological process you have to undertake to no longer be upset about the narcissist. Now, if you do this, you'll never be upset about the narcissist again. And look, there's reasons why you're upset, okay? There's reasons why you're upset. So you could be upset about the way you were treated. Okay, you could be upset about the way that you were treated by the narcissist. And that could be really getting you down. You feel completely betrayed, hurt, and you're upset about it, okay? You could be upset because you miss them. That could be another reason why you're upset. So although you could be upset about the way you were treated, it could be a combination of both, or it might just be one or the other, but you could be upset about that you miss them. You miss the version of them that existed during when they treated you nice. You've seen the change in them and you don't like it, and you miss that version of them. You could also be upset because you had a vision of where you saw your life going. For example, you saw your life going in a certain direction. Maybe you felt complete. Perhaps you were married. Perhaps you had children. Perhaps you didn't have children. Perhaps you weren't married. Perhaps you were planning on having children. Perhaps you were planning on getting married. Whatever the case may be, you might have had a vision of where you saw your life going with this individual, and you felt complete and accomplished. This is what the false sense of security that narcissists often provide to the victims of narcissistic abuse, and they do manipulate your vision to see, so you share a joint fantasy or a joint vision with them of where your life's going. Okay, so these are the reasons that you could be upset. But if you break down, for example, say you're the part of you that's upset about how you were treated, okay, the part of you or the entirety of you. If this might just be a fragment of why you're upset, or it could be the whole reason of why you're upset. But if you adapt this psychological process, so if you start to view your reason for being upset because of the way you were treated, and you start to say to yourself, hang about, it only hurt when you woke up, right? So if you say to yourself, it only hurt when I woke up to the narcissist, right? If you say that to yourself, beforehand, you might have been, emotions might have been all over the place and stuff like this, but the real hurt only comes when you wake up to the narcissistic abuse, or you wake up to at least the deviancy. You see the unmasking. You're starting to wake up. You wake up. Then that's when all this starts to come flooding in about you're upset about the mistreatment. Now, although it's an understandable emotion that you're going through to be upset that someone betrayed you, to be upset that someone cheated on you, to be upset that someone was a deviant, and they treated you in a bad way, right? Although it's totally natural and understandable, you have to think outside the box when it comes to these narcissists, right? And you have to say to yourself, it only hurt when you woke up. So what you have to see is happening is through the grace of God, through the universe. And that's why I say trusting in a higher good is a big part of this psychological process that you have to undertake. Trusting in a higher good, trusting in something, whatever it is, right? Positive force, God, universe. Trusting in something, okay, beyond the 3D realm. Trusting in something spiritually, a higher self, God, universe. The list goes on, right? Trusting in something. A lot of you will have a belief system that you believe in. And that's what I'm telling you to reach in for. Trusting, even if it's just trusting in the good of the world, right? Trusting in the good laws of the universe, or whatever it might be. Okay, so this hurt that you're going through is more like a reaction to you waking up. It's like a byproduct of you waking up, right? So if you break down waking up on a Monday morning for work, it's uncomfortable. It's not nice. You get up, you have your coffee or your tea or your whatever, you get ready, you have your shower, or you get ready, or you get ready for work, and it's like, oh god, another week, right? And you were comfortable asleep and stuff like that. So what this narcissist done to you is they made you comfortable in your condition of abuse. So naturally, this is the way you need to look at stuff from a bird's eye view. Naturally, when you're coming out of the narcissistic abusive entanglement and you wake up, you're gonna be upset about they betrayed you, this, that, the other. But it's actually because you've woken up. It's now you're seeing correctly. So it's something that you should give thanks for. Or think, nah, it's good that I'm seeing that way. It's good that I'm seeing that way, because they may have done it for years, right? Treated you badly, hurt you, betrayed you, cheated on you, done this stuff time and time again over a period of time. And it never really hurt as bad as it is hurting now. So this hurt is actually a reaction and you advancing and waking up to say, no, that's wrong now. Now you can see that's wrong. But for how long did you not see that as wrong? You see what I'm saying? So all those times that you didn't see it was wrong and you were still comfortable and you thought you were in a healthy relationship and this, that, the other, now you see it's wrong. So this is the psychological process that you have to undertake and side with. You see, you're seeing correctly now. Okay, so you don't need to be hurt about it. It's expected, right? Acceptance is a big part. As much as believing in a higher good out there for you that's kind of separated you from this narcissist, truly accepting that they are a deviant, a liar, an evil individual, and understanding that you don't really need to be upset about them, because it's expected behavior, right? The only reason why you were caught in that entrapment is because they lied and deceived you, and you can accept that they deceived you. Accept it. And now you've woken up. This is the path that should be greatly celebrated. That you've woken up, and you shouldn't fall back to sleep, right? And let them back in your life, or give them another chance, even if you've given them chance after chance after chance already. You wasn't as awake as you are now. Okay? So that's touching on if you're upset because how you were treated. But if you are upset because you missed them, or it's a combination of both, I'll just address, remember they conditioned you, more or less brainwashed you into being in love with them. They put on this persona, this counterfeit persona, to make you find them appealing and admirable, and they intensely love bombed you to give you all those chemical reactions in your brain. They knew that you would have these chemical releases in your brain, right? And you would feel a certain way about them if they do A, B, C, or D. So they conditioned you to fall in love. They conditioned you to feel this connection with them. They conditioned you to feel this way. So if they've discarded you or reverse discarded you, or even if you've cut them off and you feel your heart yearning for them, or you feel your heart missing them, you've got to say to yourself, with the psychological process, I have done my best for that individual, right? You should have a knowing, right? That you have done your absolute best, right? And even if you've improved in life now and you feel like you could offer more, it's not their chance for that anymore. You've done your best by that individual through the period of time that you was involved in their life. You've done your best Many of you have even reached out to the narcissist after you were discarded, tried to have a normal civil discussion, tried to get some closure on the situation, tried to be adult about it. A lot of you have given offerings and actually tried to reach out to them, right? Never be hard on yourself for doing that. Like, you've tried your absolute best by someone that didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve that best version of yourself, but they had that best version of yourself. And you need to realize that you doing your best, accept that you've done your best by someone, and no longer can you be that person anymore, right? No longer can you be that person anymore, because you're going through the change, right? You've woken up. You have to see them exactly what they are: a counterfeit, a deviant, right? These are the things that you need instilled in you, right? And trusting in the higher good to say this is why they've gone their separate way. They're not meant to walk the path I walk. This is the way that you need to have in your mind. They're not meant to walk the path that I walk. Okay, and have an acceptance upon that, right? It's all changing your mind. The psychological process. It's all changing the thoughts. The natural inclination is to be upset because of the way you were treated. The natural inclination is to be upset because you missed them. But if you can shift your mind to focus on you waking up and celebrate you waking up and look at that as that's your chance at freedom and it's a new lease of life. And when you miss them, shift your focus and think, no, this individual conditioned you. The missing is an addiction that's been instilled in you. The missing that you feel for them is something wrong. That's something wrong, and it should be addressed, and it should be focused on. You should do the why am I missing them. You should do the I shouldn't miss them. You should put this into your mind, really instill it in your mind that this is an unhealthy emotion that you're focusing on, and it's a natural inclination. So I'm not belittling you or putting you down if you miss them, but it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's a byproduct, like I said. Just like how if you're upset because of the way you were treated, the byproduct, that's a byproduct of being treated badly. You'll be upset because you were betrayed. Just like you miss them, the byproduct of this, just by someone discarding you or reverse discarding you, the byproduct is missing them, right? And the same goes for the vision, right? You saw a vision with them. That could be part of the reason why you're missing. So these kind of combine, but you had a vision. You saw your life going in a direction. So what you've got to flip around is believing in a higher good, right? Even when it don't make sense, you've got to believe in this higher good. That's the major psychological process. That and acceptance of believing in a higher good out there, whatever you call it, right? In why they needed to go their own route, right? And why you need to go your own route, okay? And that helps you form a healthy detachment from them, right? Because you're seeing that there's a block, right? It could actually be a block, like they've blocked you, or it could be a block where you can't be with them, right? Like, see that as something that's necessary. You see what I'm saying? It's necessary. Them going in their own direction. They're with a new supplier. They've blocked you. You're not talking, whatever. Like, see that as necessary. Stop knocking your head against that wall. Stop knocking your head against that block. You see, you've got to undertake a whole psychological process and try and shift your focus away from this stuff, right? So, what you need to do as well, I didn't touch on this, sorry, I need to go back, but when you're upset about missing them, to how to counteract that and shift your focus is learn to love your own company. Even if you can maybe make a note or mental note or whatever, right, of things that you see in your life that you can have in your own company and you couldn't have had with them. You see, it could be seeing your friends, it could be seeing your family. A lot of them isolate you from your friends and family, right? Whatever it might be. Some of you don't even have friends and family around because they've isolated you so bad, right? But there can be things that you have in your life now, right, and you have in your own company to counteract the missing. So it's basically like thinking outside the box is this psychological process that I'm talking about, and it's a constant thing. You see, it's not like basically if you do this for a set period of time every day, right? Every day, when you get these natural inclinations about getting upset because of the way you were treated, or you get these natural inclinations about being upset because you miss them, or you get these natural inclinations of being upset because of the vision you had, the shared fantasy that you had together, or you get upset for whatever these reasons are to do with a narcissist, right? You have to shift your focus into something else, right? And that's the psychological process. So that you woke up, that they conditioned you, that celebrate that you're no longer under a spell, learn to love your own company. And this is a natural thing that's going to happen. And this is why I always say don't rush into new relationships. Learn to love your own company more than when you're with them, right? That's a big achievement that you can do, is learning to love your own company more than when you're with them. And it will naturally happen anyway. If you spend a proportion of your life alone, incorporating these things in your life, it's going to naturally occur anyway. You're actually going to love your own company, and you're going to think that you can't believe that you miss them. You can't believe that you are actually upset about them. Like, you understand it, but you'll be so far forward in your journey. And if you can really trust in this higher good, even when it don't make sense, I know that you may be in a dark place, a real hurt place, but trust in a higher good that this is an adjustment that you're going through. Okay, it's an adjustment that you're going through, and having them back is not the answer. Okay, having them in your life is not the answer. Having them back is not the answer. Okay, that's the natural inclination. The natural inclination is to or rush on to someone new, have them back, or rush on to someone new. That's how the natural inclination will occur. But that's not the answer. The answer is analyzing this. Analyzing why you're upset about them, that you're no longer around them. Analyzing why do you miss them. Really analyzing it. And if you do this, you won't be you no longer be upset about the narcissist again. The quicker you can incorporate this in your daily lifestyle, don't just do it once. Do it use this method to counteract your everyday ruminations. Use this method to counteract, your everyday thinking and thought process, right? You see, if you can trust in this higher good, right, and you'll see things. No, I swear it. Like, no matter how tough the situation is, right, if you can see some blessings that have occurred, right, like the main one that you'll start to see, right, is, and I want you to see it, is actually see that them being out your life is one of the biggest parts of the blessing. No matter how difficult the circumstance and stuff like that, like, them being out of your life is the biggest celebration ever, right? But I know many of you might not be able to see that yet, but that is a major part. Okay, and if you can get to that place where you see that out with your mind, heart, and soul, like, them being out of your life is a blessing. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how much you feel like you're betrayed, remember that you done your best by them. Okay, they didn't deserve it, but you will receive blessing for the things that you done of good nature. You had good intentions, you had pure intentions. Just trust in the higher good and celebrate them being out of your life. If you can reach that place where you're thankful that they're gone from your life, right? And that's what you'll get to, and you won't be upset about them no more, right? That's something you can get to very, you can get to that place very quickly, right? Rather than being upset because of the way they treated you, be like, no, they treated you wrong. They're out of your life now. You're glad. You don't need that type of drama. You don't need that type of chaos. You know, be like, don't miss this shared fantasy that you had, or miss the way they made you feel and all that. Remember, they deliberately created a persona that would stimulate those psychological chemicals in your brain, right, to make you conditioned to feel that way about them, right? It's like being brainwashed, right? It's like they brainwashed you. You know, that's what they do to make you be around them. Otherwise, you wouldn't have wanted to be around them. This is pure manipulation, pure deviancy. So you need to take a back step from the feelings of missing them and like analyze that. Like, you don't really miss them, right? It's the natural inclination, but you've been conditioned, you've been brainwashed by these individuals to make you feel that way, right? They've even given you silent treatment or ghosted you or put you through hurt on top of that, and the manipulation, the abuse that they put you through, right? Contrasting from the love bomb and all of that, it can really leave you in a place of yearning for them, right? But you honestly don't need to. So this psychological process you have to undertake to no longer be upset about the narcissist is basically reframing the events, reframing your thinking towards them, right? And things like being apart, that is something to be celebrated. I need you all to get to that place. You will all get there. I believe you will all get there. I've got hope. I believe you will get to that place where you truly see that life without them is better. Life without them is better. You honestly, that's what you will see it, right? You'll get to that place where you're no longer upset about them, and life without them is truly better, and it's something to be celebrated. No matter how difficult the circumstance and stuff like that, or confusing the circumstance, if you have children or stuff like this, just having them out of your life, not being in a relationship with them, really is something that you'll no longer be upset, right? And it's just ascending your mind. It's just going through an ascension in your mind to reach that point, right? Like I said, it's looking from a bird's eye view. The longer you look at this from a bird's eye view and from an out of body experience, right? Looking at this from an outside perspective, right? And doing this approach, you'll see that you don't need them. And when you reach that point that when you see that life's better without them, it doesn't mean that you're out partying every day or having fun every day. It's like, no, just in the most mundane of times, when you're cleaning your kitchen or you're whatever, right? Washing the car. Like, life feels better without them. You see what I'm saying? Like, just in your everyday dealings, right? Making a cup of coffee, drinking a cup of coffee. Life feels better without them. Like, everything feels better without them. Like, you don't have to deal with them. Like that. Like, it's honestly something to be really celebrated. And if you can try and incorporate this in your mind with this psychological process, like I've discussed in this video, understanding that you've woken up now, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to hurt, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you need to side with the fact that you've woken up, and it only hurts now you've woken up. So this is the adjustment phase, working beyond your comprehension, even maybe in some cases. This is the adjustment phase actually happening. So you don't need to side with being upset because of the way you were treated, right? You can be sickened by the way you were treated. You can be disgusted by the way you were treated, right? But you don't need to be upset because this come from this individual. It's expected, and have acceptance, right? When you miss them, right, understand that they've used this persona to stimulate all of these psychological chemicals to make you feel this yearning, this incompleteness without them. They've brainwashed you, they've conditioned you. Understand that they've done all of them things. They've given you a shared vision and a shared fantasy, right? Understand all of those things and learn through the process of changing your view on this, understanding that they've done these things to make, like, no, not a normal person doesn't do that to make you like them. The normal person is just going to be nice and genuine and whatever. They're not going to do all these excessive things to make someone like them, like they've done with you. So it's like you know, they try to make you into an addict, like, you know. So it's like detoxing away from them, understanding that these thoughts, they're not your thoughts, they're not good thoughts to have about them, right? And try and break from that and see it from a bird's eye view and say, no, you don't miss that person. Look how they treated you. Look how they, you know, look what they are, you know, look what they done to even get you in their life, you know. See it like that. Like, this person deceived you, this person put on a persona and act and done all this to be in your life. Like, you don't miss them. You don't miss some fake person. You know, that's the dynamics. You got to flip on it. You know, you got to put a spin on these things, right? And during that process as well, embrace your awakening. Love it more than the relationship that you have with the narcissist. Embrace your awakening, like, celebrate this awakening. Like, it's a good place to be in. Like, you've awoken up, it's your freedom, it's a new lease of life, it's a new lease of life ahead of you. That's, look, be happy for your future. Like, to be without them, like, it's something to celebrate. Celebrate no longer being under spell. Every day learn to love your own company more than being with them, and it's going to happen naturally, and you'll reach that place where you love you are glad that they're out of your life. You'll reach that place when you're glad they're out of your life, and you'll see now. So you may have trusted before in a higher good, even when it didn't make sense, but now you'll see that the higher good worked in your favor and got them out of your life, and now you're away from them, right? So do these things that I've mentioned. I know it was a bit all over the place, but try to incorporate these things that I've mentioned. It's really a psychological process you have to undertake, and detach from these natural inclinations and feelings that you feel, and try and distance yourself from them and look at it from a bird's eye view or out of body experience, away from the natural ways you're feeling, and see these things as something that you shouldn't be feeling like. It's a natural process that you go through. You're going through an adjustment, and it's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway, whether you like it or not. You're going to reach that place where you were disgusted by them. But with these tips, you can start thinking of that now, you see, and then get to that place when you're not upset about them. I believe possibly even quicker than if you just go through the natural phases of it, right? If you shift your focus onto these things that I'm saying, right, it's going to help you. So I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching today. I pray to God, I ask the universe. I know I'm not all powerful like I say, but to speak blessings on your name. But I think that our intentions, if we have pure intentions, just like you have pure intentions, we can help each other out, right? I learn from the comment section. I learn from you, from everyone, you know, as well. My intentions were to try and get this message out to you, to really break you from this spell of being upset, because you know you don't need to be upset about this narcissist. Like, you honestly don't, right? And please don't fill the void just with someone else. Like I say, please take your time. Like, a very good strategic thing is getting used to your own company, loving your own company more than you with them. That's a huge part in the journey as well, right? Like, they tried to make you addicted to them and stuff like that. They did, and this is what you need to understand. You're going through a detox, you're going through an adjustment. Yes, you will. I'm not belittling anyone's emotional process of being upset about them. I don't want to be misconstrued in this video. Like, I'm not belittling anyone being upset about the way you were treated or being upset with the way you miss them. I'm just trying to emphasize, be disgusted at the way you were treated. Be absolutely disgusted. And do you know what? Accept it, because that's the type of person they are. You know, be firm about it. Like, they're disgusting, right? Disgusting parasites, and I no longer need to be upset about the way they treated me. That's the mindset you need to have. They'd just be disgusted by it, disgusted, right? That's a better outlook than being upset, you see. And missing them, be flabbergasted. Like, they put in all this effort to make you addicted to them, to set off these neurological chemicals in your mind. You need to detox, you need to get rid of the addiction that you're feeling. Like, know that the answer isn't having them in your life. Like, that's not gonna make you, it's not gonna achieve anything. Like, understanding that, embracing that. So I hope this video helps, and I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.